Hi guys, in this video we are going to learn about graphing functions, but today we are going to graph a function that is called a parabola. So we are going to look at type 1 question, MIP 1502. Hope MIP 1502 you are practicing. Right, remember that these videos are specifically for you to ace the exam. Right now I'm working with graphing. I will go and work with weight problems. I know that weight problems are much challenging, so that's very important to always watch the videos. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Let's do the right thing. 1 2 3, let's subscribe. Right, keep sharing the link. And remember guys, there's a room for learning. Right, so let's start with this graphing. Yeah, we are given sketch is equals to y is equals to x squared minus 4. So this is the type 1 question that we are going to work with. First thing first, guys, you need to remember that this graph, it's in a form of ax squared plus q, right, where a determines the shape of the graph, and q, remember that your q can determine your turning point, right? Yes, right. But let's put this into practice. First thing first, you have to look at your value of a here. You can see that the value of a is positive, so we have the coefficient here. The coefficient is a number that is closer to, that is here, closer to the variable. So in this case we have 1 squared, so, and that is positive, so meaning that a, in other words, a is greater than 0. So when a is greater than 0, your graph will be a smiling curve. Yes, it will be a smiling curve. But when a is less than 0, let's say we were having negative x squared, the graph will be like this. It will frown, or it will be a sad face, concave up and concave down. So that's how, that's the first thing that you should look at, shape actually. Then the second thing will be intercepts. So to find the intercepts, remember that you are graphing the graph here. We are graphing the function. This parabola is a function in this case. So let's see. For x-intercept, let y be 0, meaning that where I see y, I need to put 0. So it will be x squared minus 4. So remember, in our previous video we learned about solving quadratic equation. Take negative 4 to the other side, it becomes positive 4. So we are having x squared. The square root of x squared is going to be x, and the square root of 4, it's plus or minus 2. In other words, we are having two x values here. We're having x is equals to negative 2, or x is equals to positive 2. So in terms of the coordinates, guys, it's an ordered pair. A coordinate consists of x and y. So in this case, it's going to be negative 2. Our y will be 0. Similarly, 2 and 0. So guys, it's very important when you're graphing your graph. Your graphing is in a Cartesian plane. We call this a Cartesian plane. So we have what we call, this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Okay, so we have negative 2 and 0. Negative is on the left hand side. So in the left hand side, this is where we find the negatives. So let's count 0, 1, 2. So this is where we are going to have our point, negative 2 and 0. Let's go. Negative 2 and 0, 0, 1, 2. The right hand side is positive, so it's going to be positive 2 and 0. We are not done. So from here, also look for the y-intercept. The y-intercept, let what? Let x be 0, meaning that where I see x, I am going to place 0. So it's going to be 0 squared minus 4. So what is 0 squared? 0 squared is 0. 0 minus 4, it's minus 4. So it's going to be minus 4. So the x value will be 0 and minus 4. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So downward, that's why I put negative 4. Because downward, this is where you find your negative. Upward, this is where you find your positives. Remember here it's a negative, and downward it's negative, and the right hand side is positive, and the right hand side is positive. So it's very important to understand your Cartesian plane. We call this line a y-axis and this line an x-axis. Right, so we have 0 and -4. So we are going to place our 0 and -4 in this case. So, okay, we have 0 and -4. Right, so what is left here? When you're working with such type of a graph, your turning point, lastly it will be a turning point. Your turning point will be at the origin, so it will your x value will always be 0. Then you will take this, which is your q, so -4 is your y value of a turning point. So you're going to have 0 and -4. So our graph turns here. This is where our graph turns. Let's see the shape. Remember I told you that when a is greater than 0, it will be a happy face. Definitely this is what our graph indicate. Let's join the points. Okay. When you will use a ruler, I guess your shape will be beautiful than this, right? It will be beautiful. It will be beautiful. Okay, so this is the parabola, guys. So this is how you graph your graph. This is how you graph your graph. Hope you find this video useful. And guys, remember what? Let's summarize this video. We said that first you look at the shape. You look at the effect of A. If A is negative, then the graph will be a sad face. But if A is less than 0, the graph will be a happy face. So secondly, you look at the intercept. Then when it's x-intercept, let y be 0, then you solve for x. But when it's y-intercept, you let x be 0, then you solve for y. Then this is how you work out, or this is how you graph a graph of a parabola. In our previous video, we did show you how to graph a linear function or a straight line graph. Right? Hope you find this video useful, and don't forget to subscribe and like, and remember, you subscribe once, and remember, we love you.